to talk to you about leadership group, captain. Who do we think is going to be in this leadership group? We'll talk about the leadership group first, and then we'll move on to who we think the captain can be. So I guess, it's usually about 5 players or so, isn't it? And the majority of the leadership group from last season are pretty much leaving. Romero's going, Vicario's going. Is Ben Davies going to still be in that leadership group with his standing in the squad in terms of how many game minutes he's going to get? So where are you at with this leadership group? Who do you think is going to be in it next season?
So if we had to name 5 players, I think we can be 100% certain that Van der Ven and Van der Ven and Maddison are definitely 2 of them for obvious reasons. They've been part of it, and then it's the next 3. Thankfully, Vicario will be taken out of it. I never understood why he was in the leadership team, in all honesty, because because he shouts a lot. That was good enough for Tottenham. I think Pedro Porro has to be. If we're saying 5, I would have him as the second vice captain with whoever Van der Ven or Romero, Van der Ven or Maddison, and then the other 2. That's up for debate with who comes in. Is there people there that you would immediately think? But for me, 3 without a doubt are Van der Ven, Maddison, Porro. What about you?
Van der Ven, Maddison, Porro. I agree with you on those 3. I think Andy Robertson is a dead cert to be in it.
Yep.
Dead cert. You got to have. I mean, there's even a case to say, is he going to be the club captain?
I completely forgot.
He's the one with the biggest experience of leadership, experience in football. He's been there, done it. He's won the lot. Yep. I don't know if he's going to name him captain without playing a game for Tottenham, but he's definitely part of the leadership team. That's for
100%,
sure.
100%. I've forgotten about him.
So I guess that leaves us with 1 more to put in there. I think if Paulini was here next season, they'll probably put him in, but I don't think he's going to be here next season.
Well, you look at it. Also, we've just mentioned 4 defenders, and a midfielder.
Yeah.
Do you look at? Are you a guy that likes it position? Like, obviously, I don't like goalkeepers being captains ever. No, regardless for Tottenham in anything. Do you have a striker as a captain? Obviously, I wouldn't say any of the strikers we have right now, or wingers for that point. But that's the problem. Where are the leaders?
Yeah, I mean, this is what we've known about Spurs for ages now. We've had a void of leadership. Sonny was the only real leader. Last year, we didn't really have a leader. So you're thinking, is anyone in that forward line, should they be part of the leadership? I don't think they should. I don't think there's anyone in that forward line that warrants being part of the leadership group. The only one I can think of is Ben Davies, and Ben Davies is a defender.
Well, the only other person I can think of, obviously, is Kevin Danso. But Kevin Danso is not going to be a first team. He might be.
You don't
whatever.
need to be part of the leadership team.
This is true. If Ben Davies was, I think what Kevin Danso offers off the pitch, on the pitch, is everything you want in a captain, in leadership, is determination, everything with that. But look at that. That's how bad things are, though. 4 of the 5 we've mentioned are defenders.
Yeah. What about, people in the comments mentioning Tonali? Tonali was a vice captain at AC Milan. Could he go straight into the leadership team?
Oh, that's a big shout. That's a bit. Did he ever was he ever deputy or vice captain for Newcastle? Was he ever worn the armband?
I'm not sure. Maybe he wore it once or twice, but never.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was Trippier and Bruno, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So he's a shout. But like you said, with Robertson coming in straight away, and then Tonali, it's like literally, do you say to all the old players, forget you, you're not worthy of captaincy for your whatever it may be. I'm going to go straight with the new guys, which may be a way to go. Say this is a new era. But like we said, I think Van der Ven and Maddison and please God Porro should be absolute set in stone, in my opinion. They offer everything in passion, desire, commitment, everything you want from a captain. You see the passion of Porro, and then you got the 2.
What about?
I think
what about a Kulusevski? What about a Bentancur? What about a Conor Gallagher?
Kulusevski out the door immediately. I don't mean transfer wise. I mean He's. I don't think he's captain material for us. But Bentancur and who's the other? And Gallagher. Gallagher, we know he's done it and he's held the armband at Chelsea and did it very well. And he has got that leadership and that fight and everything I mentioned that Porro has. It's a great shout. So's Bentancur. They are two. Mate, they are two very good shouts.
Which one are you picking? If you had to pick one of them, surely Bentancur, just because he's been here for longer, I guess.
Yeah, you know what, it really is a tough one. Bentancur and Gallagher, because I've seen there's been a lot of get Gallagher out, and Gallagher Tonali might not come because Gallagher's taken the number 8, but I think Gallagher can offer us so much this season. I really do, because we're going to see De Zerbi's style of play. It's obviously not going to be the same as what we saw last summer, or sorry, at the end of last season. But I think you might be right, just on seniority alone. It might be Bentancur, but they are two great shouts.
So what we're going for the leadership group to be Mickey, Madders, Bentancur, Robertson, and Porro.
I think I'll go with that. I mean, you should. What other names are coming up in the chat? Any other names coming up in the chat?
I think we've covered all the names that have been in the chat pretty much. I mean, I think Ben Davies probably has to be in there because of, he's been at Spurs for so long. I think he did help towards the back end of last season with doing team talks in the dressing room and stuff. So maybe you would add him in there. But yeah, it's interesting as well. It's like our whole back line pretty much, apart from a doggy, will be in the leadership group.
In our opinion, and Spence obviously if he's there. But then the thing with Ben Davies is, do you have to give him that title and announce to the world he's part of a? He could do that. Yeah, I mean, you could name. Let's just say it's like you said, 5 players that are brought up or given the titles. Ben Davies can have a title without it being one of those 5. We know, or we can clearly tell that they love having him around the squad. Both the players, the club, the managers, because they've all stood by him, whether he plays or not. And I think it's clear he ain't going to get a lot of game time, if any, this season, unless we have an absolute shit show on the left side. But yeah, I think he's going to do a lot around the club. Maybe with his coaching badges, you may even see him elevated. You may even see him given on the backroom staff. So we'll see what happens with Ben. But I think he doesn't need to be given a title. Give the 5 to people that genuinely play him.
And also, it's positive when you think about the players that we brought in. Senesi and Van Hecker were both leaders in their teams in the last couple of seasons. So as much as maybe they won't be named as part of the leadership group, you still got leadership ability outside of that leadership group. So that's a massive positive.
It's a major, Ben, that's a major. It's what we have been lacking for years, because we've gone down this route of buy young, youth talent. You're going to play now, not tomorrow. We've been severely lacking that, both on and off the pitch. On the training ground, you could see, definitely on the pitch, there was no I'm not even trying to say authoritarian.
Authoritarian, yeah, you got it right.
Thank you. I did. Cool. But yeah, there's just been a lack of it. And now you mentioned that in the defensive line just itself, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. Will that come good? Well, it can't do any worse, can it?
No, not at all. I'm just going to put a poll up for you guys on who you think should be captain. I can only add 4 options, so I'm going to do Maddison, Van der Ven,
Porro,
Robertson. All right, we'll go for Porro and see what
then you could do the
think.
midfielders. Then you could do another one after.
What
Maddison, Bentancur.
No, I've put Maddison in this one.
Oh, you did? All right.
Yeah. So we've put a poll out. Who should be captain? Maddison, Van der Ven, Robertson or Porro? What do you think? Who should be the number 1? Who should be club captain?
I am going to say Mickey. And the only reason I'm going to say Mickey is I believe Maddison could be a good leader. I really do. And you've seen...
You saw it last season, even when he was injured.
Yeah, but this is the thing. He is injured a lot. And what you need from your captain is... And please, God, I mean, Van der Ven was very available for us last season, wasn't it? Incredible availability from him and hardly any injuries. I think he got one small one, didn't he? And he was out for a couple of games. I think when he signs his new contract, please God, it will be with the captain's armband as maybe a sweetener as well. I think it will be Mickey.
I think it's going to be Madders. I think Madders proved to be so important, you know, off the pitch even last season when he was out injured. I think everyone saw his leadership ability, even in the videos that he does and everything like that. I think, like, you're talking about him as well. You're talking about age coming into the prime years in terms of age, captain material, leadership ability. I think everything's there for Maddison. The only thing that holds him back are those injuries that you speak about.
Yeah.
But if he's out injured, then I think Mickey van der Ven will be the vice captain. I think with Mickey, I obviously loved Mickey, but when he was given the captaincy in the absence of Romero last season, under Thomas Frank and under
Tudor.
Yeah, Igor Tudor, he let us down. He did let us down. I don't think Maddison has ever let us down from that aspect. So as much as he got his shit together under De Zerbi, no question about it, and he was unbelievable, and he wore the captain's armband with pride, and he'll continue to do so, that did it let us down.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same with Vertonghen, with Sherwood, and then Poch came and
100%.
If he ever wore the armband, he was. So I get that. Maddison, I think the only time he's really let us down form-wise is when he's come back from an injury, and Leicester fans have said it. He's either shit or he's the other. There's no kind of in between, and his form had let him down. And obviously, we saw that in Europe. Do you remember when he was?
You can't have that as a captain. As a captain, it shouldn't matter who your manager is, who you're playing with, what your playing style is. Every single day, you come in and you hold up those standards, right?
Correct.
Romero hasn't done that. Mickey hasn't done that. I think Maddison has done that. Sonny always did that. You know, Lloris always did that. Yeah. You know what I mean? These guys held themselves to a different standard, where I think Mickey let himself down last year in those kind of aspects at certain points of the season.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. It's an intriguing one to see where we go. What we do know is that De Zerbi is not going to take no prisoners, and he won't take that kind of disobedience or kind of things. They will be stripped of captaincies. They will be given or stern words. And thankfully, through him, the level of professionalism at the club will hopefully go up no end. Like I remember always seeing it fascinated me when Poch first came. One of the first things Poch said and introduced, was everyone at the training ground had to shake hands when they saw each other for the first time in the morning, whether it be the reception desk with the players, the kit men, the receptionists, the chefs, the kit people, just to get that bond and family feeling. And as well as other things like that. So hopefully De Zerbi is a similar platform and uses similar methods to bring that connectivity back within the changing room. And I think that captaincy is going to be held with honour once again, not just I wear an armband.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, it's got to be Maddison. I think he's the clear standout. I would say Van der Ven as vice-captain. And I think Van der Ven, you know, you're talking about someone that's still relatively young. So he'll work his way up the ranks to be probably the next captain after Maddison. But I think right now, is in stature of the squad, in terms of the leadership role in the squad, I think Maddison deserves to be the captain, in my opinion.
How's the poll doing? What's the poll saying?
The poll is saying 57% Maddison, 25% Van der Ven, 7% Robertson, and 10% Porro.
Oh, Porro's the loser.
No, Robertson's the loser.
Oh,
Porro's
there you go.
third.
Sorry, I can't do maths.
Third.
I can't do maths, apparently. But yeah, so Maddison is by quite some distance, the overall outright winner. It probably will be him. But his availability is key, isn't it?
Yeah, it is key. But that's why it's important to have a good deputy. And that will probably be Mickey van der Ven, who proved his fitness last season. But you actually look at that. We didn't have player high line last season. So we bring in the high line this season. Is his hamstrings going to start popping again?
Here we go. At least Pedro Porro will be fit then to take the deputy's armband, please God.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, I think he embodies everything a captain is, Pedro Porro. Whether people would doubt his defensive duties or which I think has been improving, or what he does, you cannot deny that man wears his heart on his sleeve and absolutely loves this football club. And you see it if he wins a throw-in, if he wins whatever it may be. I think Porro is an incredible servant to this football club and has just it's just got captain written all over him in the future.
The thing is, right, does he have captain written all over him? Does he have that leadership ability, or is he just a passion merchant? Because there are differences.
I think he's got both. I can see where you're going. I can see what you're saying. And obviously, we haven't seen him I think he's led Spurs out a couple of times, hasn't he? I can't remember if they're Premier League games or Cup games where he's led us out. But I believe you don't know till you give him the go, do you? You're like, right, I see a captain on you. Maybe that's what De Zerbi sees. Every manager will see a different side to who they believe could be a captain. And I think he could, personally.
I'll put him as a vice, one of the vices, but I don't think he's ready to be captain just yet.
Oh, no, I'm not saying now. I'm saying future.
You got to look at it as well as like how much faith he put in Tottenham and Roberto De Zerbi by signing that contract, because there were big teams linked with him. The Real Madrid were linked with him, Man City was linked with him. I reckon he's got the quality to go to any of those sides and be top. But he stayed at Tottenham and signed his future here, so that's got to be something to say as well.
Yeah, and he said it all along, didn't he? Like, we're trying to see if Tonali will keep to his word, or if these words are true and if he sticks to it. Porro said, if we don't go down, I'll stay at Tottenham. And then all these big rumours came out, and they were with big clubs. And like I said, he's got in the World Cup with Spain. And he stuck to his word. He signed a contract extension, and he believes in the football club and the manager. So let's hope he's richly rewarded.
Absolutely. So that's who we're going for. I'm going for Maddison. You still sticking with Van der Ven, or are you going to go for Porro? Or
I'm sticking. Well, I'm only saying Van der Ven because of the injury thing. I totally agree that Maddison, with what he displays off the pitch and what we see with his videos and how well he speaks about the club and what he does when he comes on the pitch from his injuries, I'm totally with that. I just think the availability of him is a big concern. So that's why I'm just going Van der Ven. But if it's Maddison, I totally understand it, totally get it, and got no problem with it.
It's not even just a leader on the pitch, though. It's what you do behind the scenes as well. It's like Ledley King, Ledley King was a great captain, but his availability exactly wasn't the best at times, especially towards the end. So I think, look, I've said it before, I think Maddison is the best candidate. In terms of the poll, I've lost the poll. Did we end it?
I will say, whilst you're looking for the poll, when it comes to what captains do off the pitch, I will always revert to and never look further than Gary Mabbott. Well, that man, during his playing career and what he went through, the gentleman's gentleman, that for me, he will always be the most inspirational captain. That is how to bookmark what a captain is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gary Mabbott.
Absolutely. But yeah, the poll, 58% Madders, 24% Mickey, 11% Porro now, 6% Robertson. So we'll end the poll on that. So definitely Maddison is the front runner for the captaincy next season. And we'll see which way De Zerbi goes. It'll be very interesting because I always felt when Maddison got the vice captaincy under Ange in his first season was like, I don't like it when a new player comes straight into a leadership role. I think Robertson's a bit different because, his age and where he's been and what he's done and who he is. I didn't like it for Maddison then, but I guess he's proven his leadership ability since being here. So I can see where Ange was going with it, to be honest. But look, we'll see. We'll see the way Roberto De Zerbi wants to go with it. We've got a couple of super chats to get into.